Welcome back to another video with your boy, man. So I was just thinking, like I literally just got done eating. I'm stuffed right now, but I was just thinking. So I was having a conversation earlier with one of my coworkers. I kind of look at him more so like a friend. You know what I mean? We've been knowing each other for a little while. He's a sports guy. I'm a sports guy, so we kind of click in a lot of different ways. So we just was chopping it up. And we like he just came in on the back end of me talking to another person and was just talking about like how I'm not where I want to be, and sometimes I kind of feel like I'm a failure in a sense. So he kind of chimed in and we just started chopping up. We just started talking about just the process, like so what we was talking about first was we was talking about mentality, and we was just talking about how you have to be a different breed of person to be able to to be a football player, just because of where you have to be able to take yourself mentally, because it's like a barbaric sport, which it is. You know what I mean? You got to be willing to come out there and kill. You know what I mean? Not literally, but you get what I'm saying. That's the mentality that you got to be in for the most part. You got to be ready to come out there and bang. So we just started talking about a whole bunch of different stuff. We was talking about people that's local in our area. They got podcasts and they got things that they're trying to do. And he was putting me on game to a lot of people in my area that's doing things. And I was just like, man, that's what's up, man. I salute people that's pursuing their dreams, because it's not a lot of people doing it. But to get to where I'm trying to get to, based off the title, I'm pretty sure it's gonna have something to do with failure. So I was just talking to him, and then I told him, I was like, bro, you really want to know something? And I was like, if you really look at it, in order to succeed, in order to be successful, you have to be willing to fail. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be willing to fail repeatedly until you finally get it right. And it's not to say that what you're doing, you're not doing it right. It's just not your time. So it's like, we get so focused on the end result and whatever it is that we're trying to do. So it's like, if you're trying to lose weight, you're so focused on that weight goal you got. You probably got pictures of how you want to look, just plastered around your room, or even on your phone or your lock screen, probably on your bed, your headboard before you go to sleep. First thing you see before you go to sleep, first thing you see when you're getting up, and you got that. But you're not thinking about everything that it's going to take to get there. You're not thinking about the diet that it's going to take. You're not thinking about the consistency in terms of your diet and your workout, regimen. You're not thinking about that, okay, once I start doing this workout routine for a month, it might be time to switch it up, because now my body's going to get accustomed to that. So, it's all about the muscle memory thing. So you don't really think about all those things. You don't think about what's liable to come up in that process. You don't think about I might lose my job. You don't think about I might be in a car accident. You don't think about all the things that you're probably going to endure on that journey. And it's like, because a lot of times if you knew the journey, you wouldn't take it. So it's like, if you're doing something right now, let's just say fast forward and you get to where you want, and you look at everything you had to endure to go through it. If somebody would have told you, hey man, in order to get here, you're gonna have to go through that, you're gonna be like, I'm not, that's just too much. I'd rather just settle for a mediocre lifestyle, unless you're just one of those sick people, and those people that's sick in the head and they just looks for a challenge, like David Goggins, you know what I mean? But everybody ain't built like that. Me to a degree, I'm not built like that. You know what I mean? So you wouldn't agree to that. But you go on that journey blindly, not knowing that you're gonna go through everything. You know some of it, but you don't know everything. It's impossible to know everything that you're possibly gonna go through. It's impossible to know that that life is gonna throw at you. So my thing is this: I seen an interview where an interviewer, she asked Kobe Bryant a question about failure, and I forgot exactly what the question was. I just know failure was in it. And Kobe was like, "There's no such thing as failure." And she was just like, "Yes, it is." Kobe was like, "No, it's not." She was like, "Yes, it is." Kobe was like, "No, it's not." And I get what he's saying. The only way you fail is when you quit. I look at another guy, Dustin Poirier. He uses the saying, and I'm not saying he's the only person that uses it, but I'm just saying he's the first person that I heard using it. And he was like, it's always win or learn. It's never no loss. It's win or learn. You know what I mean? Because if I lost this fight, okay, cool. Guess what? Let me go and reevaluate. What did I do wrong? What could I have done differently? So I learn from there, so I go into the next fight. So it's all a learning curve at the end of the day. The only time that you lose is when you stop pursuing. So that's just like with me, right? my channel is nowhere near where I wanted to be in terms of my podcast and my sports channel. Now I can say, you know what, these views ain't, I'm not getting the amount of views I want, I'm not getting the amount of subscribers I want, I'm not making money, yada, yada, yada. Every other excuse that you can come with, and I can say, you know what, I quit, I'm done. That's quit, because you never know where you would have got if you stayed consistent. So my thing is this, it's almost like this, right? So, you know, my girl, she's an esthetician. And, you know, whenever, you know, she gets frustrated and she starts telling me about, you know, what she's dealing with and how she's feeling mentally. And, you know, and her biggest thing be like, man, I done invested too much money into this to quit. And I understand it. I really do. So it's like, we have to look at a lot of things and say, okay, check this out. If I start this and I'm putting the most important thing outside of money is your time. So if I start this, whatever it is I'm trying to do, and I'm investing time into this, and it don't go the way that I expect it to go initially, time is already put in. I've already punched the clock, so I can't retract this. I got to go all the way through with it. Now, if I don't obtain it, if I chase this up into my grave, then hey, but at the end of the day, I never failed because I never gave up. I kept going, I kept pushing, because we know the end result of in life if you don't do nothing. So if you don't pursue your dreams, what's the end result? Obviously, you're not going to achieve your dreams. Now, if you pursue your dreams, who's to know? Who's to say? It might take you a few months. It might take you a year. It might take you 5 years. It might take you 10 years. It might take you 15 years. So it might take you a while before you finally get exactly to where you're trying to go. But at the end of the day, it's always still that possibility. You know what I mean? Because every day is, okay, cool, I got to get at it. Because who knows? This video could be my next video. This collab can be that next thing to push me to the next level. You know what I mean? So you study, you know, and but it's like, even if you're not at the level you want to be at, right? There's always going to be things that you're going to look at and say, okay, I need to get better at this. So like I said, it's that journey. But like I say, you have to be willing to fail. It's almost like if any of you guys have seen my videos where I talk about love and relationships, I always say the thing about love is that you have to be willing to be hurt in order to love, because you have to give yourself to a person. And when you give yourself fully to a person, now that person can choose to cherish you giving themselves to you, or take advantage of it and hurt you, and you end up suffering in the long run. You know what I mean? Just because you thought that this person was worth giving everything to, and you gave this person everything, and then you didn't get nothing. You didn't get nothing in return from it. You know what I mean? So you have to be willing to be hurt in order to find love. Same thing with success, bro. You have to be willing to fail. So my thing is this, right? And like I always tell you guys, I'm talking with you, not to you. I'm not necessarily coaching. I'm not necessarily preaching. I'm on side of you and saying, hey, bro, we got to step up. That's what I'm saying. We on the bench. It's fourth quarter. We looking up. We down by 14 points. We got to give, hey, defense. Let's rally up. Defense. We need you. We need y'all playing offense. You know what I mean? That's what we doing. That's what we here for. Like I say, iron sharpen iron, steel sharpen steel. That's what this is all about. Is to make myself, but also you guys better, because there's people out there in this world, whether you in New York, Africa, California, New Hampshire, Connecticut, wherever it is in the world you at, and I can't reach you because I don't know that you exist at the moment. But social media allows me to be able to connect with you guys, because you guys are feeling exactly how I feel, and you guys feel like you don't have nobody to talk to just like I do, or you do, but people don't understand. So that's what this is for us to come and talk and, you know, and get an understanding, but also keep each other on point. But like I say, you got to be willing to fail. You have to be willing to upload 365 videos every day, one video a day. For a year, there's 365 videos. And let's just say out of 365 videos, you might hit 1,000 views. And I know some of you probably like, oh, what, 1,000? You might hit, and that's a big might. That's a big might. You might hit 1,000 views. It ain't guaranteed. It ain't, because nothing in life is guaranteed. Just like if you were, it's like my girl, you's an esthetician. Who knows? You can do that every day for a year. And let's just say, obviously, in that situation, it's going to be different because shops are closed, yada, yada, yada. But let's just say you do that for 350 days out of a year. And within those 350 days, the most that you might have made, or let's just say you do it for a month, 12 months out of a year. And the most that you'd have made from that out of a month is, let's just say we throw a figure on there, is $1,000, right? $1,000. And that's the most, which I know you can make way more than, but I'm just saying, but that's what you got to be willing to go through. So I'm just saying, you have to be willing to do that. Like, you have to be willing to work for free for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years before you finally actually see a return on your investment in terms of the monetary, but overall success too. So it's like I say, it's almost like you have to embody what the definition of insanity is. Definition of insanity: doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results. So it's almost like you live in a hell loop. But in this hell loop, which it can be a hell loop because you're getting up and chasing something that you don't know if it's actually going to work out. So the scariest thing that you're doing daily is investing more and more and more and more and more time into something that you may never see a return on your investment in, depending on how you're looking at it. So it's just like, you have to be willing to endure that. You have to be willing to go through that. You have to be, in order to achieve the thing, especially if you're talking about doing something great. We're not talking about, and there's no disrespect, it's easy to go be a cashier at Walmart. It's easy to go be a cashier and work the drive-thru window at a fast food chain. It's easy to go and just be a regular associate at a TJ Maxx, a Target, a Lowe's, a Home Depot, a Rent-A-Center. You know, and I'm not saying, I'm not trying to, throw no shade towards them. I'm just saying it's easy to get those jobs. So it's not like you have to tap into a different version of yourself. You don't have to discover nothing of yourself because those jobs is easy. It's easy for you to commit to something from the first time you actually start. You're getting paid. When you get a regular job from orientation, once you finally, get hired on and you're going through the orientation process, you're going through the training, computer training, you're getting paid for all of that. That's not like that with what if you're trying to be a self-employed person and you working on something, it's not the equivalent. You might be, it don't, for like, from your orientation to your training, you don't get paid for none of that. You don't get paid for none of that. And you could be doing that for you. So it's easy to commit to that because you see a return in your investment, because in a situation like that, you don't have to walk by faith. You're walking solely off of sight because you're seeing the paycheck hit your account every week, every 2 weeks. I don't know how you get paid. Right. But with your dream you want to pursue, man, you might not never see no paycheck today until a year later, 2 years later. You know what I mean? But that's where you have to embody everything it is that you stand on. For me, we walk by faith, not by sight. So I can't focus on sight, because if I focus on sight, I'll never obtain. I'll never have anything. I'll never take myself to the next level. But if I'm able to focus on faith and believe that this is what it is that I'm destined to do, or what I'm supposed to do, because I don't think that God would have placed this, in terms of like the sports and with what I'm doing with this channel on me, and he didn't desire for that to be what I walk into. You know what I mean? Now I'm getting a little too deep. Now I'm getting a little too spiritual with y'all. You know what I mean? And I ain't trying to do that too much, but it's just ultimately, like I said, man, it just comes down to, like, real talk though. You just have to be willing to fail. Like, it's just that simple. Like, in order to be successful as a boxer, you have to be willing to get knocked out. Because if you're not willing to get knocked out, you're not gonna get in the goddamn ring. And if you ain't willing to get knocked out, you're not gonna train, you're not gonna spar, you're not gonna do any of it. You know what I mean? A quote, and I know sometimes I be kind of sporadic, guys. When I get to talking, I get passionate, and it's just I go to a different place. But a scene from Rocky 4, and it was after the Russian killed Apollo, and Rocky was gonna challenge the Russian, and Rocky, Adrian, obviously, like, why? Like, what do you gain from this? She's like, well, regardless if you win or not, Apollo's dead. You're not getting him back. And she told him, she's like, you read the reports. You seen how strong he is. You can't win. And Rocky just looked at him and was like, oh, Adrian. Let me do a little acting. He was like, oh, Adrian. Oh, sweet Adrian. Adrian never lies. But he told her some real stuff. He told her that in order for him to beat me, he's going to have to kill me. And in order for him to kill me, he's going to have to be willing to die himself. And he told her, Adrian, I don't think he's willing to die. So you got to ask yourself, whatever it is that you're trying to pursue, you got to ask yourself that real question. In order for me to stop pursuing this, will have to be if I'm 6 feet under. And once you ask yourself that, you got to ask yourself, am I willing to die pursuing this? A little food for thought, but it's deep, man. I know it's deep. I know I did hit y'all with something right there, but that's real talk though, man. You gotta, because it's just that serious. You know what I mean? You have to be committed. Once you find out that, once you identify this is what you want to do, man, you got to go all in, and you kind of just silence the crowd, silence the noise, silence the haters, silence the self-doubt, silence everything that deters you and take you away from whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. But that is it for this video, man. If you liked my acting, and if you liked that my little speech, I never write nothing down. I just really speak for the heart, because I don't want nothing to be pre-planned when it comes to this. I want to just get on camera, and whatever God puts onto me to speak, man, it comes out. Sometimes, man, it be a lot of times I speak and I go back and I look at something and I be like, I don't remember saying it. Or it's like sometimes I go back and look at some of my quotes, and you know me, and I think that's something I'm gonna do too. I have in my phone, I have a lot of quotes. Some of them I came up with myself, and some of them I took from TV shows and just, kind of put my own little spin, or movies, or whatever the case may be. So that's something I'm gonna do in the future too with this channel. But like I was saying, man, that is it for this video, man. If you did enjoy this video, you enjoyed my acting, man, do me a big favor, man. Smash that thumbs up button. Also, man, if you're new to the channel and you're enjoying the content, man, make sure you subscribe. When you subscribe, click that post notification bell where you be notified every time I upload, man, because I'm dead serious, man. It's time to get serious. It's time to get locked in, and it's time to be prepared to fail. It's time to be prepared for me to upload 320 videos before I might even hit 100 subscribers. But if that's what it is, that's what it is, and I'm willing to die chasing. So that is what it is, man. So yeah, like once again, man, if you support me, comment on videos, like them, sharing, whatever you do, man, I really, really appreciate that. I'm looking forward to when we get this thing bigger, and it's more people involved, and we just all just playing mental gymnastics with each other, man. You throwing things to me, I'm throwing things to you guys, and we just try to figure out and maneuver our way through life so where we can all accomplish whatever it is that we want to accomplish before we leave this earth, But with that being said, man, I'll see y'all in the next video. I'm out this thing. Peace.